I thought the group did pretty well making it. I think that they struggled a little bit with the meatballs, which I thought they would because I probably would struggle too.
The group did a good job making the banana bread recipe. It's a pretty easy recipe to make, and the only kind of problems we ran into was the baking time was way too short, so we had to put it in there for longer and kind of judge when we thought it was done.
They did really well. They had everything right. They did a nice job with the measurements and the time, which is something I had pointed out might be tough. It was very crunchy, it was sweet. I think they both were about where I expected them to be. They were tasty and just as Cornhusker crack should be.
One group kind of struggled with making it look like an omelet, and it kind of just became scrambled eggs with soggy cornflakes.
I think in all honesty, like the mix of like, so the mix of like the Rice Krispies and peanut butter and everything that's like serves as like the main, like what you're eating. I think that could have been a little bit more consistent. It doesn't quite stay together as well as it usually does.
I think what they struggled with a little bit was understanding what the directions said, because there's some pretty tricky parts there, like put it in a microwave for 90 seconds and shake the bag and stuff like that, which I think they were a little confused by, and I had to point out that is something that is part of it. You really have to shake the bag.
For the most part, I think it did. I think my mom's is like, when your parents make something, it's just like the best. So I think hers will always be like the best, but I think they did a good job making it.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I preferred it to be just like a little bit more, it was a little soggy, but not super bad. I still liked it a lot though. It tasted pretty good.
Yes, it did. It was maybe not done quite enough, but that's kind of on me for not bringing the right baking time. But yeah, overall it tasted about how it normally does.
I learned that I should learn how to make an omelet, because otherwise I will be ridiculed. But as a whole, like I think I kind of learned how to work better in a group, because a lot of like what I've done like projects-wise for a lot of my other journalism classes have just been like me sitting in a study room editing things for hours on end by myself. And so with this class I kind of had to learn to work with other people.
Throughout this class I learned about how to like delegate responsibilities, because this project, it's a big project and not one person should do everything, so we kind of have to delegate roles.
I think something I learned from this class was I learned that I'm terrible at cooking, especially cooking an omelet. I had no idea how to cook an omelet. I don't eat omelets. I'm not a huge egg fan, and I had no idea how to do it, and I completely ruined Lindsay's omelet, so I'm sorry, Lindsay.
It was harder, just because of like the setbacks we had. Once we started the cooking, it was really easy, and we were able to find the time and like get everything done.
It was honestly a little bit tougher than I thought, because when I knew that we were going to be doing it in groups of 2, I kind of thought that that'd be easier, because I thought there would be at least one person in the group who knew how to do something. But if you're paired with someone who also had never made it before, then that was kind of difficult.
It was harder. I think there were a few recipes that had more steps, and I kind of realized that more goes into cooking than it seems. I mean, because when it's brought to you on a plate, it looks fairly simple, but you know, when you do the cooking and you do all those steps, you realize there are a lot more things that go into cooking.
I would say my cooking skills improved, yeah. Granted, that's improved from basically none to some, but like I think I can competently like work a stove now, so that's new.
I think my skills improved. I've never made meatballs before, so I kind of was just going off of what I've seen on like cooking shows for that one.
I think like more than anything, I think cooking with someone else, like those skills improved, because I'm the type of person that like just wants to do it myself, and like if I see a recipe, I'm just gonna do it all.
Most challenging part was probably all of the setbacks that we had in the beginning, having to completely reschedule and redo our project with 3 weeks left in the semester. That was probably the hardest part.
The hardest part of the class, at least for our group, was probably the fact that we had to start over like 3 months into the semester, which was frustrating and difficult, and it made us like kind of really like sit down and be like, okay, we have to get this done now.
The most challenging part was definitely the cooking. I mean, like I said, I have very little cooking experience, and I really realized that there's more than what it looks like that goes into cooking a meal. And you know, I think I earned a lot of respect for people who do cook, because it is a pretty difficult process and it takes a lot of time.
I think my favorite part was actually switching to the second idea, because I love horses for healing, but I love cooking in my free time anyway, so I thought that it was pretty cool getting to see everyone's like different family recipes.
Honestly, my favorite part of this project was just working with the group, because I didn't really know any of my group members. I knew Jake a little bit, but I didn't really know anybody else. So just getting to meet with and know a bunch of new people was really great.
I think my favorite part was just meeting new people. I think besides Jake, I didn't know, well, and Kyle, I had him in some classes. I didn't really know anyone else. Even Kyle, I didn't really talk to him, so it was nice to get to know more people and just like talk about things other than our project and get to know them outside of class.